guys, this is Malinki. Welcome back to my channel, Voice of Malinki. Today we will talk about structure and function of lipids. And if you are new in my channel, please subscribe my channel. And if you like my video, please do like, comment and share my video. So lipids are non-polar organic compounds which are insoluble in water but soluble in organic solvents. They are hydrocarbons that include carbon-carbon or carbon-hydrogen bonds. There are different types of lipids: glycerol, fatty acids, simple lipids, conjugates, and derived lipids. Let's talk about them one by one. First is glycerol. So basically glycerol is trihydroxypropane. That means it contains 3 carbon atoms, 5 hydrogen atoms and 3 hydroxyl groups, OH groups. This is glycerol, C3H8O3. Next is fatty acids. Fatty acids have a long chain of hydrocarbons to which an carboxyl group is attached. COOH is the carboxyl group and here is the R. R represents the number of carbons in the fatty acids. So here is the fatty acid and the number of carbons may range from 4 to 36. These fatty acids could be classified into 2 ways: saturated and unsaturated. Saturated fatty acids. In a fatty acid chain, if there are only single bonds between neighboring carbons in the hydrocarbon chain, the fatty acid is saturated. Just like this. This is the palmitic acid. It has 16 carbons. Here you will not get any double bond between 2 carbons. Unsaturated fatty acid. In a fatty acid chain, if there are double bonds between neighboring carbons in the hydrocarbon chain, the fatty acid is unsaturated. For example, arachidonic acid, which has 20 carbons. This is the arachidonic acid. You can see double bonds are there between 2 neighboring atoms, 2 neighboring carbon atoms. Next is simple lipid. Simple lipids contain fatty acids and alcohol. There are 2 types of simple lipids: fats and oils and waxes. Fats and oils contain fatty acids and glycerol as the alcohol. For example, monoglycerides, diglycerides, triglycerides, gingerly oil, etc. The difference is on the basis of their physical states at room temperature. If a lipid is solid at 25 degrees Celsius, it is called a fat. If it is a liquid at the same temperature, it is called an oil. Waxes contain fatty acids and long chain alcohols. Next is conjugate lipid. Conjugate lipids contain the lipid part and the non-lipid part. For example, phospholipid, glycolipid, lipoprotein, etc. Phospholipid is composed of fatty acid chains attached to a glycerol. Instead of 3 fatty acids attached, however, there are 2 fatty acids and the 3rd carbon of the glycerol backbone is bound to a phosphate group. Hence, this is phospholipid. One phosphate group is attached to the glycerol moiety and these are 2 fatty acid chains. So phospholipid is basically the major constituent of the plasma membrane that we all know. Next is glycolipid. A lipid that contains a carbohydrate attached to it by a glycosidic bond. So here, apart from the lipid, a carbohydrate moiety is attached and glycolipid is also an essential part of cell membrane. Lipoproteins. Lipoproteins are made up of lipids and proteins whose primary function is to transport hydrophobic lipid molecules in water as in blood. Last is derived lipids. So derived lipids are created when simple and compound lipids undergo hydrolysis. So if you hydrolyze simple lipids or compound lipids, derived lipids will be created. For example, cholesterol, carotene, steroids, prostaglandins, etc. So this is all about today's lecture. I hope you liked the lecture. Thank you for watching my video.